Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Monday morning. We got a big show lined up. I want to sort of apologize for Friday's show. There was a computer glitch or something in there. We send the signals way up there in Virginia. So anyway, I don't know, the storm messed up. That storm might have messed up, or I don't know what happened, but we just, we're glad to be on it. We're going to continue doing the best we can every day. We're going to bring you our A game. All right. Our A game today is brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. The weather part of it is Drew Pollard and the gang up there. High 83, low 74, seasonal weather. I like that. I heard a meteorologist say that the other day, so I stole that phrase from him. It's seasonal weather this week. Water temperature at the end of the pier is 82, and like I say, they've been catching some nice tarpon this past week. It's been a good run on tarpon. Let's look at our Monday moon phase, brought to us by Mountain Dew, the folks at Buffalo Rock. And by the way, let me mention this too. Buffalo Rock is having a job fair, I think it's next Wednesday, starting July 21st and 22nd, 23rd. They're looking to do a little career fair, and it's going to be right there at their office there on Sherman Avenue. Check it out. We may have them come on talking about Buffalo Rock's been a great sponsor of Panhandle Outdoors. That company is a great company to work for. I've done some research on them before. It got a great history behind Buffalo Rock and up in Alabama and all, and good folks, and I've known a lot of my former students made careers there. I've known guys my age that had a career there, and so they've got some good openings. So we'll talk more about that. That's a good deal. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. High this morning 11:03, and we're looking at a good strong tide right in the middle of the day. High tide going out at 9:56. Talked to Billy Grantham the other day. He was down here fishing in the East Bay. And they caught a lot of fish, a lot of trout, but they were small trout, what we call dinks, and they caught redfish and all. They had a good day, but he was commenting how the water's so tea-colored and tannic acid colored. We've talked about that, since we've had this rain this past month. And it'll clear on up, especially as we get into late summer, early fall. We'll start seeing some good, clear water. But you can still catch fish in that tea-colored water. They got to eat. Okay, right, wind direction today is south-southeast at about 10. All right, take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back with our continuing effort and quest to make everything the best we can for you as our fellow outdoorsmen. I want to show you this announcement here. We've got coming up here in Bluntstown, keeper of the old ways, a survival expo at the Panhandle Pioneer Settlement in Bluntstown. It's going to be Saturday, July 31st, and it's going to be from 8 to 4. And this is cool stuff, okay? And here's what the class is. And we're talking about surviving, and it really means a lot to us, especially after Hurricane Michael. A lot of us were just trying to survive. So here are the things that they will be teaching, like the old pioneers did in the Florida Panhandle: cheese making class, soap making class, natural medicines with essential oils, a ham radio, how to operate that, and that comes in handy, believe me, folks. Homestead security, sun oven cooking when you don't have electricity, campfire cooking. I mean, it don't get any better than this. Bees, they've got some good, strong beekeepers up in that area. And then the next one is heirloom seeds. These are seeds that pass down generation after generation, and that is so cool. And then a self-sustainable food forest, how to plant things, fruit and all. So call Jessica, that's her number right there, Jessica, for the Pioneer Settlement. I'm really pleased with them doing this, okay? There's a number there. I'll mention another time or two between now and then, but the keeper, we talk about the different things and all about survival, and like I said, after Hurricane Michael, a lot of folks went without power. The average was about 9 days without power. So, having survival things and just doing basic things, and it's interesting, and plus that's just a good, as far as keeping your planting trees and all that, that's all good stuff. I've always enjoyed it and I appreciate it, and I always love going through the woods on occasion. I don't do much anymore as far as you'll find old homesteads. You'll be out there in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and then you see a certain oak tree here and a catawba worm tree here and a fruit tree here, and at one time that was an old homestead, and most of the time St. Joe would buy all that huge chunks, and But y'all, if y'all from this area been out in the woods, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You could tell where the old homestead was. You couldn't find, I know in our place, well, up in Robert Brent, there was a place called the Old Taylor Place. And we knew where it was, but you could just, when you drove by, way back in the woods, you could tell the old Taylor family lived there. And this, my dad just could remember them, so that's how old it was. Okay, another thing too, this is interesting, talking about camps and all, doing things in the summertime. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, one of the former students, and she was a waitress, and we were just talking, and Gail and I were there having lunch, and she was asking me about, she was in my outdoor class of 2003, and she said, Coach, why don't you put together an outdoor ed class for like 1 week in the summer, because I have a 10-year-old, she's a single mom, has a 10-year-old, I would love to bring my little girl to that, and just all those things, she was talking about all the things she still remembered, catching the little fish, plastic fish with the plug. And I said, you know, that's a good idea. So next summer, I probably can't do all of that, but I will certainly try to help. But I admire her as a single mom. She's had her working hard to get her daughter into out activities. She's had her in a dance class. She's taken her to different places, but you know, she wanted her to learn some outdoor stuff. I had a deep appreciation of her doing that. And along the same line, we, with our grandkids or kids, some of the things we can do this summer, I've talked about it, make sure those kids get their safe boating license. Help them on it and get those safe boating licenses. It's so important, and it's just something that is very important to do. Also, if they're old enough and they can take the hunter safety class, remember it's coming up a week after next, the hunter safety class right here in Bay County. And I think I'll look it up and make that announcement again. But doing these things in the summertime, to learn that you have that window of time as a kid is growing up to do some exciting things. And I was really, Gail and I are talking about here as a single mom, trying so hard to get her 10-year-old, doing successfully, get her 10-year-old daughter just learning things in the summer. So I have a deep appreciation of parents to go out of their way to do things like that. So next summer, we're going to work, it might be called a fishing class or outdoor class or something. I'm going to work with some of the different schools in the communities and see what we can get set up for next summer, and also with FWC, and see if they can work with us some too. And I just feel real strong about that. Okay, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. And if you get a chance to take a kid doing outdoor stuff and all, just a little bit at a time, it'd be every little thing you do with young people. I think outdoor is just a big plus, a big win-win for everyone. And I just feel strong about that, as you obviously know. Let's add a couple of names to our pickle jar. We're going to add from Panama City Beach, Jeff McNally and Terry McNally. He called the other day and said, please add our names. So here we go. And it's never too late to win. I know I promised y'all we're going to do some sweepstakes and all. We haven't had time to put I've got a couple of things to go in them, but I want to make a really nice basket or a gift or something. But we're still going to do some sweepstakes. It may not be a summer sweepstake. It may end up being a fall sweepstake, but we're gonna get around to it. Okay, got a video coming up, and back when Stan Clerkin with FWC, he was so good about calling me and say, Winston, we're doing this. Winston, we're doing that, and I would just plug in with him and all. And this is when we FWC put the grass carp up at Deer Point Lake. Now, I forget how many thousands it was, but I was just thinking about it. And they've done a pretty good job of, they eat different, Arlo Canes there tells about different grasses they eat and everything. So this is a good video, because what happens now, you know, these carp cannot reproduce. And it's amazing that how the scientists and all, Derek Fussell is doing a lot of that stuff now, but the scientists and all sort of have it figured out how long they live and how much they can eat, but live a pretty good time. So anyway, I think you're going to enjoy seeing what's going on, and this does every 5 to 10 or 15 years, they will be adding grass carp at different areas and different locations. So Jeff, let's run this video. All right, folks, I'm out here on Deer Point Lake. It's a beautiful Friday morning. I'm here with biologist Fred Cross. Fred's been on our show before.
Yes, I have.
We've been glad to have you. Now, what are we up to this morning?
Well, this morning we're putting grass carp in Deer Point Lake to help control some of the problem plants.
Okay, well, you got some of the plants right there, right?
Yeah. This plant right here is Eurasian water milfoil, and it's an exotic plant that came into the lake back in the late 70s. And we've been stocking grass carp ever since then, occasionally, to treat the plant when it gets real bad.
And that's why they're going to. That's why they'll be eating then, right?
Yeah, this is the main problem plant. There's also a little bit of another exotic plant called hydrilla, and the grass carp eat the hydrilla too. So those two plants are what we're targeting with the grass carp.
Okay, and hydrilla is. Well, now what is that right there?
Now this is another plant that grows in the lake. It's a native plant, lemon bacopa, and there can get quite a bit of this plant in the lake, but the grass carp don't eat this plant. This plant is, we use drawdowns to control this plant.
Okay. So you're like a combined effort to control it.
Exactly. It's a combined attack to keep the lake in check.
Now, how many are we going to release this morning?
We're going to put 10,000 grass carp in Deer Point this morning.
And where are they coming from?
They're coming from a private hatchery. We contract with a private hatchery in Arkansas. So these fish drove overnight all the way from Arkansas down here.
And they're en route right now. So
exactly. They're almost here.
All right. We'll get ready for it then.
We're also going to be stocking fish in Martin Lake and in Davis Lake in Lynn Haven this morning too.
Oh,
so
great.
We'll transfer a few of the fish from the big truck into the small truck over there and take those fish directly to Martin Lake and to Davis Lake also. Okay,
are you going to count them out or are you just going to estimate them?
We're going to count them as good as we can. We only need 75 in Martin Lake and we only need 10 or 12 in Davis Lake, so it's not too big a problem out of the 10,000.
All right, good deal. All right, here it comes right here. So you cleaning out a place here to get in, right?
Yeah, I live right down here on the lagoon down there and use it to clean up around my dock.
Yeah. You see why we need a carp in here.
Yeah.
What do you think about that big truck in the water? That's awesome, isn't it? Think it gets stuck?
Make it in on its own.
That's the first one in right there. Now, how old is that one?
That fish is, I'm guessing, I'd have to ask the guy, I'm guessing probably 8 months old, 6 to 8 months.
That fish getting more pictures than Paris Hilton. Wow. I got Mr. King here at the landing now. You said your wife tried cooking one of these?
Yeah, she did cook one, put it on the table. I didn't know it. I bit into that thing. You don't ever want to do that. Let me tell you.
How did it taste?
Foul.
Oh, you didn't know what
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a catfish. I hadn't seen it before. You don't ever want to try to eat one.
Okay. First thing to do is taking some out. These are going to be the ones going over to the other two lakes. All right, getting ready now. Got the oxygen tanks up there. The purpose of that, of course, to oxygenate the water all the way down from Arkansas. And we have channel 7 and channel 13 here. They don't usually get, they're on the other side of the camera.
We should stars today.
I'm not going to say anything about our cameras. That's Robert Cooper, the news panel, takes a lot of pictures.
Just don't dump them on his head.
That would be a good picture, right on his head. All right.
Yeah, it's got a new name, Wild Man Trooper, by the way. Wild Man Trooper.
All right, here it goes. Wow.
Coming down a tube. There it is.
Fish coming down the drain, understand? And how much they cost? How much they cost to feed?
$3.64 and there's 10,000 carp that are being put in for weed control purposes.
Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. We're going straight on into something from grass-eating carp. Let's go to man-eating shark. So we're in honor of Shark Week coming on, started last night, and on the Discovery Channel. I think this is the 31st year. I looked at some notes on it. It started July of '88. So, and I say this is the longest running television series for 31 seasons like this. So I've got a little schedule what's coming on. Last night was tonight is all Jaws for Gold. I don't know how to keep coming up with this. Tuesday night is the mother of the sharks. I guess that's a huge shark. And Wednesday, mechanical shark. And then Friday, ninja sharks, mutants rising, and return to shark vortex. One thing they're doing this year, they're actually making a movie for Shark Week. They've never done that before. So it's really, really fascinating. The movie's going to be called Capsized Blood in Water. Takes an incident that happened in October of '82. And I don't know if that's the incident I saw. I've never shared it. On Outdoor Ed, I would do a Shark Week, really, and we sort of coincided with some other things. And I've kept a record of all the shark attacks here in the Panhandle. And one, I don't have time to get into it. I want to tell that. I've never told that story on air, but I have had a personal experience with a helicopter pilot who tried to help rescue him and all. But it's a scary one. It's a lengthy one. I may tell later on this week if we get to it. But I do want to mention the three biggest sharks I've ever seen, and I've spent a lot of time on the water. I'm not like a commercial captain like that, but I've spent a lot of time on the water. And the three places, really, the first time was way back when my kids were little. We put in an Indian Pass, and I couldn't afford a motorboat, but I had a sailboat, and I wanted to take the family over to St. Vincent Island through Indian Pass. And we all four of us loaded up. They were little, but put them in there, and we started. It was a 16-foot those little sailfish, and going through there, about halfway out, I saw this fin come up, and I'm thinking I'm helpless out here. But I didn't. And sure enough, turned around, and as I went on by, I had a paddle with me, and he turned sideways. He was as long as a sailboat. I mean, the kids were just petrified, and we all were. But that was the first one. The second one. We were just fishing with Tony Bass and them down at Carabel, and one just huge one came by. And then the third one, the gal and I was St. Joe. I don't know if I want to show on Google Earth. I want to show where we were, and this is what I worry about St. Joe Bay. I'm gonna put us in the middle of the screen. We'd been fishing, and then we caught right there, and we just caught a breeze and coming up through this area here, and right there we said Richardson Hammock on that point right there in the center. There was I looked down, it was real quiet. We'd been scalloping, we got a limit of scallop like at 10 o'clock, so I said, we'll just drift from our right to our left. And we're drifting in this direction here. And there's a huge shark. And what scares me about St. Joe Bay, that doesn't scare me about Carabel and Indian Pass, are these channels. You have people in the water. At Carabel and other places you don't. So I'm gonna talk more in detail about the places like that and all where, it's rare, it's going to be a rare chance, but there is a chance that, especially during scallop season. So I wanted to mention that and go along with Shark Week and all that. So we're going to take our final break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 144 to 344 this morning. That's already passed. But this afternoon, right for lunch, at 209 to 409, brought to us by the good folks at Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. And man, that store has everything. I'll leave it like that. They got everything you need. Okay, I just mentioned earlier in the early part of the show about the Hunter Safety course coming up, and here's the dates on it right here. The Hunter Safety Internet Completion course is in 3 counties. And here in Bay County, it's going to be this coming Saturday. We're looking at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Bay County Shooting Range, and you got to finish your computer part online first, but then you go to shooting range. That's this Saturday, okay? So keep that in mind. Also, I have several pictures. I got this the other day. Talking about Stockton Lakes and everything. Billy Grantham actually sent this. It came from, I've never ever seen this, and this is not from around here, but it's called this was a Siamese bluegill. I said, wait a minute. It has twin tails and twin eyes like a flounder. I've never seen that. Don't know a lot of details on it. Billy forwarded it to us on Facebook, and it's interesting. Let's go from interesting. This is something I sent my granddaughters because they're in that age group right now. Check this out. when you and your friends survive a bear attack and celebrate with ice cream. And that's all these ripped jeans everybody has. So they got a kick out of that. They said, ha, ha, ha. So anyway, now I want to mention, also talk about a lot of things, what our friends do down at Sea Quarters. And they're sort of the headquarters when the loopers, and I probably won't get a chance to finish all this. The loopers on this map here are the folks that make this big loop, you know, from the Great Lakes area. Well, you can start down here and go, but that's the loop they're talking about. Now this takes a good while. Of course, it's all relative to the size of the boat you have, how much time you want to spend. But this is what they call the Great Loop. There's actually a cruiser association. There's all kind of information on it now. And it started years ago. Mainly what I see in Carabel are the folks around the Great Lakes area coming down in the wintertime, they'll see them. But then here's a loop right here. This is when they get into the Big Bend area. I looked this up just to give you all some information. This is sort of where they stay. You see Carabel on the top left-hand corner. They'll stay right there, and then they cut across the Cross City and down the Crystal River. You know, and then sometimes if they got a big boat, they'll go all the way from Carabel to Clearwater. And I want to share that route with you. And also, and then one more, this gives you different locations they can stop. The America's Great Loop, but there it is, look at the bottom. One of the few places they have is Carabel. Carabel is a good stop-off point right there at Sea Quarters. So when I'm talking about a Great Loop and sharing this information with you, you said to go around the peninsula and on up through Jacksonville, go along the Atlantic coast and Myrtle Beach. And they'll just plan their route and then they cut across the canals up here in New York. I think that's a really cool thing to do if you have a nice boat and have the time to do it. I think that's really cool. In the Great Lakes area, you can see where they go. So you can really see a lot of America. And then I noticed you can really go into some of these, go up the Tennessee River up into Chattanooga and all and go through those areas in North Alabama. That's a good cruise. So that being said, I want to show y'all on the next show I do, I've got a loop put together. I'm calling it the Great Panhandle Loop. I've already put it together. I worked on it last night. I'll show it to you. Try to show it to y'all tomorrow on how you can go from a kayak to a little skiff or whatever. And anyway, we're going to have to call it a Panhandle Great Loop. But can't wait to see it tomorrow. Y'all have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.